What up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Daily Supply Podcast. I am Bravo Billy, your host. So this podcast is going to be a quick little short intro. First episode, we're going to be talking about kind of like the types of content or conversations we'll have on here, and then I'll end it with a quick story. So I hope you guys enjoy this first episode and this podcast. So this podcast is kind of like an extension. It's like the content creating extension of my shop, where I sell like vintage clothes, hypebeast items, snapbacks. Looking to do sneakers soon too. So I do have, of course, an Instagram page for the shop, and on there I do have thrifting content. I call it thrift tours, where we, I just take you guys with me to thrift stores, the bins, markets, shit like that, just buying and selling shit. So I wanted to come out with more types of content to bring you guys value and hopefully entertainment, because it's not like the only thing I do. And I figured, why not grow an audience with other shit that I know about or I could bring value for. So Daily Supply is like an extension of the shop, and the types of content we'll be talking about here is, like I said, vintage, hypebeast, fashion, of course. We'll be talking about trending things. We'll be talking about like cultural things. I'll be doing reactions of different sporting events, shit like that. Pretty much everything, life, culture, you name it. We'll probably be talking about it on here. So it was my way of bringing more types of content to hopefully get some more support for the shop. And some other shit we'll be talking about is like I am involved in like the hemp cannabis space as well. So we'll be talking about shit like that, things that are going on in that industry. And for the story that I wanted to go over today is how I got into vintage and reselling and shit like that. So another thing, I do have a clothing brand that I'm working on. That's definitely at the very beginning stages. I actually had a clothing brand I launched like 14 years ago with my boy. We made a small run of pieces, and they're all gone. They got sold. And then so I launched my new brand. Did one drop so far, sold out of that. But when I started the new brand, I started doing pop-ups. And when I did my first pop-up, it wasn't the busiest for sure. You know what I mean? Sold a couple pieces, nothing crazy. But it's all about that action. So we definitely got that action in. So at that first pop-up, what I did is I started walking around and just kind of checking out the other booths and shit, seeing what maybe customers are looking at, what was driving them into certain booths. And so that's when I started noticing like vintage resellers, shit like that. And I was like, oh shit, nostalgia shit. So what I did after that first pop-up is I went to a thrift store, the closest thrift store to the market that I was doing, and bought a few pieces, you know what I mean? Bought a good amount of pieces, like a rack's worth of pieces. And I had one rack dedicated to that, and then I had to drop of all my other pieces for that second market. Big ass difference, big turnaround in traffic, stopping at my booth, my pop-up, and it was the nostalgia shit. The nostalgia shit was getting people. So after that, I started digging in a little more into like vintage clothes and shit like that, hypebeast items, just looking into it. And it was like a whole new fucking world. It blew my mind, like not just the art and the quality of the pieces from vintage items, but the value. Like, bruh, I've seen pieces sell for thousands of dollars, and if you could find these gems, you know what I mean? Like it's super lucrative. It is a lot of work though. So you have to give a fuck about it. You have to have a passion for it. If not, it's not going to work, because it is very, very lucrative, like I'm saying, but it is a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like for my shop, for example, La Cultura, like I love finding the pieces. I love posting them. It's just, there's a lot of tedious work. product descriptions, photos, editing, content, this, that. So there's, I mean, in anything you're really trying to be successful in, there's definitely a lot of work that's going to be involved. That's why you got to make sure you love what you're doing. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into the vintage and resale game. Just I wanted some nostalgia shit. I was trying to drive more traffic to the pop-ups I was doing. And then 3 years, so this was 2021, end of 2021. So a little over 3 years, now, and I've been doing this shit, going crazy, selling pieces. I also saw on Whatnot now too. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, you should definitely tap in on that. Whatnot's the shit. It's live shopping. We just go live, sell pieces, chop it up with people, and yeah, it's a good time. So that is how I got involved in thrifting and vintage and reselling and shit like that. And then so the next episode, what I want to go over is I want to go over how I got into the hemp cannabis space. That's an interesting story too in itself. And then hopefully in this next episode we'll be talking about more what do you say, trending shit. Like, for example, this weekend we had a bunch of fucking fights. We had the Ryan Garcia versus Raleigh Romero. We had the Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Teofimo versus Arnold Barbosa. We had the Canelo fight versus Skull. And then today, Sunday, which is when I'm recording this first episode, we have that Inouye versus, I forgot who he's even fighting. But man, fuck it. Since we're already on the fucking subject, I'll just give you my feedback. Oh, also, damn, I'm just kind of jumping everywhere, guys. Forgive me. This is the first episode. We're gonna figure this shit out, and we're gonna keep it rocking. But if you guys don't follow the Daily Supply TikTok, definitely do that. I've been doing a bunch of like projections, picks, reactions, shit like that. So just in case you haven't, my little quick 2 cents on those fights that happened this weekend. Teofimo came in just like I was thinking, sharp as fuck, fucking piece Barbosa up. You know what I mean? It was a great performance by Teofimo. Devin Haney, I had projected that if he could stick and move and keep the fight at a distance against Ramirez, he would win. And if Ramirez could put the pressure on him, he would win. Well, Devin Haney got the dub, and it wasn't on sticking and moving. It was more like moving and hugging. But that fight was boring as fuck. And then I was flabbergasted that Ryan Garcia lost the fight to fucking Raleigh. I don't know if anybody saw that. I think I seen somewhere that somebody had projected that I was gonna win, but very few and far in between of people who actually thought Raleigh was gonna win that fight. That Canelo Skull fight was boring as fuck too. Dog, Skull did it like the announcer said it best. He wasn't fucking there to win. He was just there to fucking survive. And it was a bad fight. It was boring as fuck. He really, really thought he was winning the fight when I was watching it. And that was mind blowing to me. That fight was boring. Hopefully this fight tonight, the Inouye fight, isn't horrible like that. So we're going to have to find out though. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys like this first episode. I'll go ahead and put the links in the description, because I think I'm gonna drop this episode on YouTube too. I might have the podcast on YouTube and Spotify for sure. So I'll put the link to the shop on there, and to all the socials. Yeah, I'll put the links to the shop and all the socials there. Hopefully you guys tap in. I hope you guys appreciate this first episode. This is the first of hopefully many episodes to come. And yeah, this is Daily Supply. I am Bravo Billy, your host, and I hope we have some fun times during this fucking podcast. Appreciate you guys.